Hello and welcome to the Back Nine Report, where Fred Altvater and I get together and check in on the world of golf to bring you the latest news, insights, analysis, interviews, recaps, previews. Hey, we cover anything and everything golf. In other words, if it happened in golf, we have it for you. And boy, do we have something big for you today, because we're going to be recapping Hideki Matsuyama's historic master win. I can't hold myself, Fred. I promise I'm going to take it easy. I'm gonna,
You were firing off tweets so fast I couldn't read them all the other day.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's
I don't mean I mean text.
yeah, text. I got it. Anyway, Fred, hi. How are you today?
I'm fantastic, Carlos. We're up here in Cadillac, Michigan. The temperature's up in the 50s and 60s. Actually got a little golf in over the weekend. Grandson had a golf match today, and weather's halfway decent. So I'm all good. We got to do a bunch of traveling here the next 8, 9, 10 days. We're going to see some of the country again, and just life is normal. The Ohio Golf Journal is going to come out on Wednesday. The April issue. We just a lot of stuff going on, Carlos. I can't hardly keep up.
I don't know how you keep up anyway, because you do so much stuff. I do some other stuff too, but hey, we do watch golf. And this past weekend, we did watch the Masters. And what did we watch? History in the making, because Hideki Matsuyama became the first Japanese male golfer. There has been two women that have won majors, the first Japanese male golfer to win a major. And what about a major? The biggest one, the Masters. And he did it in style. Yeah, he wasn't perfect, but he did great. I mean, he played a fabulous Saturday, unblemished, an eagle, birdies all over, and he took command. He was cruising along on Sunday, and then he did a little messed up. Xander Schauffele make it interesting with four birdies in a row, and almost made it to him, because almost we can say that Hideki was a little nervous. He said it himself. I mean, he was nervous all the time since the morning. He was carrying the burden of all Japan on top of him, basically. I mean, all those that have come before him. And if you don't know, people, just watch the following that the Japanese reporters do anytime. I mean, I remember Fred in the Puerto Rico Open when I used to be there, just watching Ryo Ishikawa, not as big on the PGA Tour as Hideki has been. And he would have a whole set for him where all the Japanese reporters would just go out and talk to him. And he wasn't even that big of a deal. And with all respects to Rio, right, as Hideki has become on the PGA Tour, not as big as a winner. Yeah, back in Japan, yes, but Hideki had that burden to carry with himself, and one that he put onto himself as well. He wants to be a pioneer and somebody that really transcends and try to become uh, something to watch for and to look out for. He was saying that, hey, he hopes that in 5 to 10 years there would be some more from the Asian countries, especially from Japan, that would follow his steps and try to be there. And he wants to play that long to become that inspiration for those, just like we have seen in the women's that have happened at the same time. So, Fred, I'm going to give you the initial talk on that, because if not, I won't finish. I'll take the whole show.
Well, to compare it to something here in the United States, from what I understand, how big this is for Japan, Hideki could be compared to Tiger Woods in Japan. He is the big deal. And Nick Faldo made a statement during the broadcast that he wouldn't be surprised if Hideki now lit the torch at the Olympic Games in August. So that's a big deal. I can't hardly imagine it, but you know how we revere and how we cover Tiger here in the United States, and I would imagine that's about how it is in Japan. But Hideki, I thought played fantastic, and I know it's a big deal for Asia. I know this is really important, but we've kind of expected this from Hideki for a long time. I mean, I first saw him at the at Bridgestone at Akron at the WGC over there, and he was, he did fantastic there at Firestone. You could tell he was a player, and it just never quite materialized. But maybe now that he's a father and he has a family and he's a little more settled, maybe now he's going to start to fulfill all that potential that we saw in him over the last 4, 5, 6 years. I'll tell you what, Carlos, what I really enjoyed was, we've been talking about Will Zalatoris, and I really have not seen him play that much. And I really got to see a lot of Will Zalatoris this week, and I'm very impressed. He did not back down. He's taken on shots. He just, he's in the moment. He likes the big stage, and he's jumping into it. Not a big guy, but he hits it a long ways, and his swing looks really solid to me. So I think it's going to hold up for him.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, Will definitely, and I couldn't be happy because when you look at the top 5, all my guys there. I was just astonished. But to go with Will Zalatoris, we've been talking about him for the past couple of years. He's all the way up to number 27. And if you remember last year, it was his second appearance on the U.S. Open. He finished T6, and he finished second, solo second here, just one shot off of Hideki Matsuyama. Nobody told him this is, the first time players don't do that well. You shouldn't be doing that. But he did the second best finish of a debut player since 1982 when Don Paul finished on a playoff loss to Craig Stadler.
My buddy Dan Paul.
Yeah, so he had the best. He still has the best finish if you come to think about it, because he went to a playoff, but it was second, right? But anyway, that fits nicely right now in his history with that junior U.S. amateur. His Walker Cup appearance in 2017, where he was also the ACC Player of the Year when he played for Wake Forest. And by the way, he played in that Walker Cup with Cameron Champ and Colin Morikawa. He turned pro 1 year before his senior year, and he originally didn't make it there in the Korn Ferry Tour. But last year, like we were saying, and I was predicting, hey, Will is going to blow it up. There he is right now. I ask you this now because I have this on the notes to ask you about Will, because hey, he's been here in the top 30 now, and he has the game. He has the attitude, and of course, yes. He put it like crazy this weekend. But do you think he has a chance to make it to the Ryder Cup?
I'm glad you asked, Carlos, because Brandel Chambly, leave it to him to stir up a little controversy. So a couple things. So Will, as we know, is not a full PGA Tour member. He would have been last fall when the season flipped over to the wraparound for 2021, because he was leading the Korn Ferry Tour. He had 2 wins. He was close to getting a third, but then he started getting sponsors exemptions, and so he's playing on the PGA Tour, but he's not a member, even though he's up to about $3 million or something like that for the year. He's way past what he needs to be a member. But because of COVID and no new cards were given out last year, he's still technically a Korn Ferry Tour member. So he's all the way up now to, I think 13th in the FedEx Cup standings, right? Because he had that 6th at the US Open. He's had some very high finishes in regular tour events. And now with the runner-up, he got 1.2 million or something for runner-up. A nice little check last weekend. So he's not even eligible to play in the FedEx Cup, right? He can't even play in it come August if he doesn't become a member before that, if they don't change some rules somewhere. So your question was about Ryder Cup. No member of a Ryder Cup team has ever not been a PGA Tour member. Okay. Could he become the first one? Yes, he could. Because with this runner-up, he moves clear up to 23rd, okay, in the Ryder Cup standings. So if he continues on his excellent play, he could move up into that top 12. It wouldn't take much more, a couple more top 5 finishes, and he's going to be real close. So if you're a Ryder Cup captain like Steve Stricker, and you got a hot guy like Will Zalatoris, one of the hottest guys on tour over the past year. You're not gonna pick him just because he's not a PGA Tour member? I don't think so. I think you'll probably pick him. One more thing about the Ryder Cup before we leave this. Jordan Spieth, we've been talking about him. He moved up a couple spots now. He's at 11th now, so he's inside the top 12. Okay, and I know you say he's going to get inside the top 6. I don't think he's going to get that high, but he might. But he's as long as he's inside the top 14 or 15, Stricker's going to pick him, and he's now inside the top 12. So he's probably going to be on it. So I'll turn it back to you for a little bit. I got some more stuff, but I'll turn it back over to you for a little bit.
Yeah, no, to me, Jordan is going to make it top 16. And if anybody had a shot of a doubt that he was not back, yes, he is. He had some holes here and there, but that's just part of it. I mean, everybody had some holes. Look at Xander Schauffele. I mean, a triple and a double, and that's where he's.
Justin Thomas did the same thing.
Same thing, and that's part of a little round I'm going to get into now. I didn't want to get into it that early, but here it is. And that was an argument I was having earlier today, and that's why I want to mention it. It's like somebody approached me today and said, like, "Hey, your guy Hideki had good luck yesterday and he won." And I was like, "What you mean?" Well, if Xander wouldn't have done that triple on the 16, he would have won that. Really? Why? I mean, how do you know that? Oh, well, if he wouldn't have done that, well, I told him, well, if I would have had 2 wheels, a frame, and a driving seat, I would be a bicycle, so that you cannot put any speculations on things like this. And let me tell you one thing also, the reason why people, and look at Tiger's win. Are you going to taint it because Francesco Molinari, choked and he blew it out, and Brooks Koepka was there. He did the same thing. Dustin Johnson that leaderboard was packed. The only one that didn't make mistakes was Tiger. This is about who makes the less mistakes. Okay, in this case, Hideki went. If you remember, he went for it on the 15 for the green. Okay, he hit the water. And everybody was like, why did he do that? Because he did an eagle the day before, doing the same thing. He felt comfortable. I can't do it. Well, that's how you go for it. You go for your chances.
That ball just came off a little bit low. It was a really good shot. He got it maybe a groove low, and it just didn't have enough height to sit on that, and it flew because it was a little bit low. It flew on the back and then hit the downslope and over into the water. You can't stop it back there. But if he'd had it up in the air just a little bit more, he'd have been fine.
Yeah, and that's the same thing. I told him, like, if he would have done it like the day before, then Xander wouldn't have done anything. So Stop the people start speculating about this thing. Same thing with Jordan and all that stuff. Hey, look, it happens. That's why when you play golf, all the 4 rounds are different.
He had a 4-shot lead going into Sunday. And so really all he had to do was shoot around par, because somebody has to shoot 68 or lower to beat him, if he just plays a good round. And except for the bogey on 18, he would have been even par for the day. He did what he had to do.
Yeah, he did. And Xander said, because they asked him about the triple, he said, well, Hideki played well. He did what he had to do. And to me, and he said to him, right, he said, if I would have been leading, I would have done a different shot. But I am the one who's chasing. I had to press to try to make him keep making mistakes so I can catch him. He had to make it. Otherwise, Hideki was not going to do it for him. So that's how things happen here in golf. And Xander is another great story here. I mean, again, another top 6 finish within a major. All that is left for him. And that's another one that they were saying, he's a choker on the finals. No way, man, he's not. Go ahead and play in Augusta that final round like he was in that final group, and with all the expectations that you have, and score what he did. And then you talk to me about being a choker. But that's not it, definitely.
Carlos, I've been watching the Masters for over 50 years, right? And I can remember 2 balls in that pond in 16 coming down the stretch that really made an impact. Greg Norman was one, right? And now Xander. Nobody ever hits that water. They never hit it. They might three putt, you know, or miss the green and have to chip back on, but they never hit it in the water there. So that was really, really unusual.
Definitely. And anyway, some final takeaways that I have to do. I mean, Hideki Matsuyama definitely. This is just the beginning of what the impact is going to be in Asia. We still have to see. I mean, but the way that he is, he's very. I mean, if you didn't like him before, after this, you just have to. He's very endearing. Okay, I mean, and that would happen at the end there. That shot of him going down to the scoring table. I texted you. He's holding his tears there. I mean, that the way, because you could see him. I'm about to cry because I remember that. Yeah, I know. You all know that I'm high for Hideki. But anyway, the thing is that the way that he presents himself, he's caddy. After that, he was going to put the flag on the 18 and bowing to the course. That shows you, I mean, how important this thing was for them. Okay, and it's part of their culture, but that's how important this thing is. And if you didn't like
that
him
was one of the coolest things when I saw that. I was really impressed with that. That was so, and it's all over social media today.
oh yeah, I have that, and I'm gonna keep that clip because that was amazing. And yeah, Will Zalatoris is here. I think he's gonna make the Ryder Cup. That's another prediction I'm gonna make. That's why I ask you. I think he is going to make it. The way that he's playing, super consistent, and not only that, he's fearless. So that's the type of player, and the way that he's playing right now, I just think he's going to keep it up and he's going to make it. I mean, he's going to get himself invited into it, just because of how hot he's going to be back then.
I got,
Rory
I got,
McIlroy,
I got one more comment on that before you leave it. Something I forgot to add in there. So on the Will Zalatoris thing about the no PGA Tour card, so one guy tweeted, well, since Ricky Fowler isn't doing anything with his PGA Tour card, couldn't he just give it to Will?
oh my God, people are mean.
I know that is harsh.
It's like this. I saw a tweet because the PGA Tour said, "Hey, Jordan Spieth became the first one to go under par on the 10 hole, all 4 rounds." And people were like, "Who cares? But he didn't win. What did he win about that? Nothing." Hey, dude, I mean, I know if you ask Jordan, he would trade things.
Oh, that shot he hit in there on Sunday was phenomenal at 10. That is so hard. And remember, like 10 and 11, Ben Hogan always said, if you see me on the green, I missed it because I'm aiming for the front right of I'm not even aiming at the green. I'm for the front right corner.
And 10 played the 4th hardest hole in the whole tournament.
Yeah.
It was 11 and 5. We're the top 2, like by far, but 10 was the 4th. And anyway, hey, there's something there. And Jordan Spieth definitely, hey, some consolation for you. But he's back. Rory McIlroy, he's still, if I were him, I see that he still has to work with Pete Corwin. I mean, I think he should take some time off to just figure it out. But unfortunately, with the compressed schedule, I don't know how he can do that. Justin Rose, very surprising. I mean, 1 month out, he looked like a winner, definitely. He played really well, but at the end,
almost impossible conditions on Thursday. Nobody could score low, and he blew everybody away with 7 under par.
Yeah, I remember texting you. Where did Justin Rose play? Did he play at Augusta? It didn't seem like
he played over Champions Retreat or what?
He was somewhere else. It was in Augusta. But anyway, the other one that I want to talk about, I mean, John Rahm did great. He just started slow, but he was there. But the one that I'm going to close it with is Brooks Koepka. I really fell for him. I mean, just watching him, how hard it was for him. He was really in pain. You could see it. And you said it. You said it, Fred.
Back and play. There's no way you can walk up and down those hills. No way.
No, I got to give it to you. You called it perfectly. I mean, it's a Healy course. And just watching him that Thursday, He goes there, and you could see Bubba getting ahead of him, and you would see him like trying to hold it. And then he couldn't even bend to read the greens. He had to do that strange stance with the leg wide open, and really, I think he just came too soon. But I fell for him. I think he needs more time. Definitely, he shouldn't
He
have.
should probably take almost all summer off, and he's going to, and see, he fell down another spot in the Ryder Cup rankings. He's going to fall out of the top 6 for sure. Unless when he does decide to come back and he gets healthy, he really lights it up again. But he, for another month, he shouldn't play for another month.
Yeah, he shouldn't, definitely. I mean, this is an injury that could take even 2 more months at least before he starts doing some golf stuff. But he came back so quick. Who knows? I mean, he's a freak, physical freak. He could do it.
Yeah.
You called Cameron Smith, great finish. I mean, he was another T10. He looks like a horse for the course here in the Masters, riding Augusta National. He's like a top 10 finisher, master here. Corey Connors is just
he loves this golf course. He loves that golf course.
But we've been talking about him constantly at top of the leaderboards, top 10s.
Yeah.
He's just there, and he looked like he had a chance. Yeah, but of course at the end, he just couldn't get that extra punch. And my final comment is about Bryson DeChambeau. Bryson, please, this is not the place to try to overpower. I mean, I have a stat here, and I just wanted to say it here because the ones that led yards driving, Cameron Champ was 324.3, the leader, T26. Bryson was second, he was T46. Gary Whitland was third, T40. The only one in the top 10 top 20 finishes was John Ram. He finished fifth, but then Joaquin Niemann, T40, Justin Thomas, T21, Ryan Palmer, T34, Jason Cochran, 49. That's what yardage gets you here.
What the shortest guy finish?
The shortest
guy, I'll save you. Jose Maria Olazabal was the shortest by at least 10 yards, and he still made the cut, finished T50.
Yeah.
60 to 70 yards, 60 to 70 yards behind Cameron Champ.
But you know what he did, right? He was the leaders among the leaders in the driving accuracy. So
and short game.
Yeah. So that's what really takes you here. And for Hideki Matsuyama, he was the leader in putts made per greens and regulation, plus the leader in greens and regulation. So that tells you really what made it for him. So Fred, that's where I finish it here. Other than the beginning, I know you're going to talk about it. The first opening tee shot with Lee Elder. What an experience!
Yeah, I was so impressed with that. Lee Elder joining Gary Player and Jack Nicklaus on the first tee shot. I've probably watched it about 4 times actually. It was very, very well done. Of all of the ceremonies and traditions of the Masters, that first ball ceremony on Thursday morning, that's really pretty cool. And I have to tell you, Carlos, I have to tell you, it just seems to me like, as we said before, we do everything in America overboard. If it's really good, we got to make it great. We got to make it better and super and all that kind of stuff. And all of this Black Lives Matter and all of the African-American stuff. And this maybe seemed like one more thing kind of piling on with the Lee Elder thing. But I have to say, with the history of Augusta National, with the history of African Americans on the PGA Tour, okay, I think this was pretty well done. I kind of liked the way this was handled by Augusta National. I thought they really did a good job with it. So, and the only other thing I want to mention to you was the Bonehead of the Year award goes to Siwoo Kim. He was 4 under par, just 3 shots behind leader Justin Rose on Friday. He 3-putted the 14th, and while waiting for his playing partner to finish a hole, he slammed his putter into the ground and broke it. He had to finish the round with his 3-wood putting, okay? You're 4 under par. You're only 3 shots off the leader. There's only about 4 guys under par. total, and you break your putter. And I know he felt bad. I know he felt like an idiot, and he should, because that was not a very good look. One more thing, total purse for this thing is 11.5 million. So Hideki gets 2 million. Will Zalatoris gets 1.2, even though he's not a PGA Tour member. But the surprise to me, well, two things. Xander's ball in the water on 16 on Sunday cost him $550,000. He drops from solo second or a tie for second down to tie for third. $550,000 for that triple bogey on 16. And Phil, Justin Thomas, Victor Hovland, Harris English, and Shane Lowry all tied at T21. They still got 138K just for making the cut and finishing, up around 20th at the Masters. Carlos, it's a hell of a tournament. We look forward to it every year. We can't get enough of it. I can't wait for a whole year for it to come back.
I'm just sad that it's not going to be in November. Anyway.
Maybe we should do 2 a year. Yeah.
We should be doing that. I mean, but anyway, who are us to opinion about that? But anyway, thank you for joining us. It is our pleasure to bring you the latest in golf news and information. To get more information and get the latest on the Back Nine Report podcast, subscribe to us at Back Nine Report TV. Thank you for joining us.